All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Board of Education meeting for the month of October. As always, happy to see so many of our honored students and faculty members here to celebrate with us tonight. Before we get started, we will do a couple of administrative items just to get those cleared out of the way. First one is a reading of our open public meeting statement, which says that the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies, at which time any business affecting their interests is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act and Board of Education Policy 0162, the Board of Education of the Borough of Bound Brook has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the board office and at Bound Brook High School, and mailed or faxed to the Courier News, Bound Brook Borough Clerk, South Bound Brook Board of Education, and any person who has requested individual notice and paid the required fee. At this time, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Lee, can we have a roll call, please?
Here.
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 Here. Here. Here. Here.
Mr. Nelson? Yeah, okay. Mr. President, your call.
Thank you very much. For my president's comments tonight, I just want to give a shout out to our PTO. The activity that we're seeing and the increase in participation has been remarkable. And a specific shout out to Mr. Bal and the rest of the Board of Education members for the work that they did at the trunk or treat and the victory for the Board of Education. So before we get started, round of applause for the board. Nice job.
You know, we're there for the kids, but we're also there to win. I just want to say that.
Setting the example along the way. Very good. At this time, I will turn over to Dr. Freeman for his superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our October meeting. It's great to see so many people in the audience. At this time, I'm going to call up Mr. Smith to announce the Students of the Month for the high school. I caught you off guard, right? Let's say it's a different direction today.
Our first student of the month is Salome Pineda.
Come on up, Salome.
Salome has birth sister Sophia. Favorite subject in school is AP Spanish. Favorite hobbies include playing volleyball, and her future career plans include business administration. Our next Crusader citizen of the month is Deborah Zariegos Ochoa. Deborah has 4 siblings. Favorite subjects include French and ELA. Favorite hobbies include tennis and sleeping. And future career plans include becoming a combat medic.
Wow.
Our next Crusader citizen of the month is Abel Ben Tisla. Abel has 2 siblings. Favorite subject in school is math. Favorite hobbies include art, gym, going to the gym, and gaming. And future career plans, still considering options. So. And last but certainly not least, Our last Crusader Citizen of the Month, Christian Gutierrez. Christian has two brothers. Favorite subject in school is phys ed. Favorite hobbies, he doesn't have any hobbies because he's too busy working. And his future career plans include potentially plumbing.
Yay.
Next up, we have Dr. Santa Surma from Community Middle School.
Hello, everyone. The Community Middle School is proud to recognize as its 7th grade Student of the Month, Sebastian Guevara. Sebastian was nominated by his teacher, Mr. Heiser. He has 2 siblings. Favorite subject, of course, is social studies, coming from Mr. Heiser. Favorite hobbies include camping, fishing, and hiking, and wants to be a geoscientist when he grows up. Our 8th grade Student of the Month from Community Middle School is Ashley Diaz Lopez. Ashley was nominated by her teacher, Mrs. Diaz, has 5 siblings. Favorite subject is language arts, I'm sure because of Miss Diaz. Favorite hobbies are makeup and hanging out with friends, and wants to be a cosmetologist a few years down the road. Congratulations.
And next up from Smalley School, we have Mrs. Morgan.
All right, our 4th grade Student of the Month at Smalley is Lucas Bagal. I loved talking with him this last week. Lucas has one big brother named Larry who's in 6th grade. His favorite subjects are math and science. He likes to practice his times tables and fractions, right? Especially the 9s. Yeah, I know. He loves science because he's good at doing experiments at home. Talked about that. His favorite hobby is playing soccer. He's got lots of friends from school on his team, and he's learning to play striker. And his team just won 3 games in a row. He has 3 choices for careers. One, maybe a police officer, possibly a carpenter, or maybe an astronaut. Okay.
I'm not taking it. You got to turn around. I am a soccer coach. Yes, ma'am. Congratulations.
All right. Now our 5th grade Student of the Month is Annalise Lentz. I know I was going to say it wrong. She is here with her mom, her dad, her brother, and her sister. She's got one little brother and one little sister that are there in the audience. Her favorite subject is math because she likes to multiply. She likes to play all sports, but she scores a lot of goals with soccer, right? And when she grows up, she wants to be a teacher here in Bound Brook with her cousin. Congratulations. And finally, our 6th grade Student of the Month is Angeli Miranda. She has 4 siblings, 1 brother and 3 sisters. Her favorite subjects are ELA because she likes to read and write, like reading and writing. Her favorite hobby is doing gymnastics, and her friends are helping her learn. And when she grows up, she wants to be a dancer, cosmetologist, or a gymnast. She loves doing nails. We talked about that for a bit. And she's very good at it and will get better as she practices, right?
And next up from Lafayette, we have Ms. Cajas.
Good evening. Our second grade student of the month is Ashton Rombaran from Miss Ciampa's class. You ready? Ashton has one brother, Nathan. His favorite school subject is math. He loves playing soccer and coloring, and he wants to be a firefighter when he grows up. Congratulations, Ashton. Okay, you're going to hold this. We're going to take a picture. Ready? We're going to go over here and take a picture. Our third grade student of the month is Ryan Mota. Ryan is from Miss Siv and Miss Glassman's class. He has one older sister, Brianna. His favorite school subject is math. He loves to play on Switch, watch soccer, and play football. And when he grows up, he wants to be a police officer. Congratulations, Ryan. We're going to hold this. We're going to take a picture, okay? Come over here, sweetheart.
And last but not least, we have Dr. S. from Lamont Annex.
Good evening. Congratulations to Aidana Pinila. She's busy back there.
Wrong way.
She's in pre-K. Teacher's name is Miss Hardy. Aidana likes art and music. She loves to play with cars, do arts and crafts, and loves to sing and dance. Congratulations.
She's like, no. You're gonna.
Set aside some pictures.
Okay. Congratulations to Jonathan Martinez. Is Jonathan here? Okay. Okay. Jonathan's in kindergarten. He has a little brother named Axel and sister Stephanie. He likes to play in math and count. He enjoys playing with his brother and sister. When he grows up, he wants to be a police officer. Congratulations, Jonathan. Congratulations to Mia Castro in first grade. Ready? Okay. It's okay. Okay. She has brother named Alex, Adriana, sister Natalie, and And Nicole, her favorite school subject is math, favorite hobbies playing on the playground, and she wants to be a teacher when she grows up. Congratulations. Yeah.
Another round of applause for all of our students of the month. Did someone just walk in? Principals, anybody recognize? Let's do it. Yes, welcome back to the stage, Mr. Smith.
All right, once again, Deborah Mazariagos Ochoa. Deborah has 4 siblings. French and ELA are her favorite subjects in school. Favorite hobbies include tennis and sleeping, and wants to be a combat medic. So let's give it up again. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's for you. So come over here. We're going to get a picture.
Another round of applause, please, for all of our students of the month. At this time, we'd like to invite all of the students and their families to come join us on the stage in front of the table. We're going to take a nice big group photo. Come on down.
We're going to do it. It's all right. It's all right. Congratulations.
Oh, hey, how's it going there, sir?
Congratulations.
Is that a rental? It's a rental. I don't think he owns it.
Congratulations.
Yes.
All right.
You know what, Lucas? I heard today you are in a newspaper club too now. All right. He was telling me about all the people he knows in there. Yes, but unfortunately, even though the first one today, we had to go to an appointment, so he was there for a total of 10 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna have to move and make 2 lines in front, so you guys can slide down. And come on down. Take a second line. There's still people coming up. Wear that suit. Wear on the sideline. Face silently in a suit. Would really be looking native back.
How are you? Okay, at this time, I would like to call up Ms. Cajellas from Lafayette to announce one of our district employees of the month. If Miss Young would come forward.
Hello again. So I am proud to nominate Erica Young for Educator of the Month. Since joining Bound Brook in March 2025, Erica has made a remarkable impact on student learning and growth, especially with our third graders from 2024-25 as they prepared for the NJSLA. From day one, Erica came prepared with a clear instructional vision and a deep commitment to helping students succeed. Erica's preparedness, professionalism, and collaborative spirit make her an invaluable part of our Lafayette team. She is a team player, always ready to offer instructional strategies, support colleagues, and step in wherever needed. Erica exudes both confidence and care in her teaching. She skillfully manages students with a calm, fair, and nurturing approach, creating an environment where students feel both supported and challenged. A highlight of Erica's dedication was the pep rally she organized in May 2025 to build excitement and confidence for the NJSLA. She led the students in a spirited candy-themed cheer that got everyone energized and united as a Lafayette community. This creative and joyful event reflected Erica's ability to inspire students not only academically, but emotionally, making them feel proud and ready to shine. Her connections with students are exceptional. She engages them in meaningful math learning, celebrates their successes, and helps them grow through thoughtful feedback and encouragement. Equally important, Erica has been a constant source of support for staff, sharing ideas, uplifting those around her, and bringing positivity to every interaction. Erica is a phenomenal addition to Lafayette School and the Bound Brook community. Her dedication to students and colleagues alike exemplifies what it means to be an outstanding educator. She is caring, professional, and truly a joy to work with. Thank you. Congratulations, Erica.
And next, would Mr. Smith come forward? Would Mr. DeSena come forward?
I'd like to congratulate Mr. Patrick DeSena for being selected as Staff Member of the Month. This year, Mr. DeSena has embraced an expanded leadership role as the facilitator of the RVCC Workforce Learning Program, a dynamic partnership between Bound Brook High School and Raritan Valley Community College. Through this initiative, students engage in career and technical education pathways that combine academic rigor with hands-on technical learning. These programs enable students to earn both high school and college credits, equipping them with valuable industry-relevant skills and a strong foundation for future success. Under Mr. DeSena's guidance, students have thrived in specialized programs such as advanced manufacturing, mechanical engineering, makeup design, emergency medical response, healthcare, drone technology, biotechnology, aseptic cleaning, and welding. His oversight ensures these programs operate smoothly, and students remain engaged, and our partnership with RVCC continues to grow stronger each year. Beyond his leadership in the Workforce Learning Program, Mr. DeSena has shown remarkable flexibility and dedication by using his special education certification to provide in-class support in mathematics. Though his background is rooted in business education, he stepped into this new role with enthusiasm to meet the evolving needs of our students and the school community. Mr. DeSena's professionalism, adaptability, and unwavering commitment to student success embody the spirit of excellence that defines Bound Brook High School. We are proud to recognize him for his outstanding contributions and leadership. Congratulations, Mr. DeSena, and thank you for all you do.
So at this time, we will have a presentation of the 2025 NJSA LA results. Mikey.
Is there a group picture of all the teacher notes?
Mr. President, Mr. President. Where's your certificate?
I'll go grab it. Come on.
Ms. Young.
There we go. We'll do that. There we go.
All right. This is a very deserving.
Thank you. Congrats. Thanks again. Okay. Welcome back. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Wait for the pictures in the back.
Oh.
The unofficials. Yeah.
Come on. You can, come on.
That's right.
Thank you so much. I
Congratulations.
appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You don't want to mess with that. Yeah. Let's see here. We'll turn. Hello. Welcome back. Anybody know Welcome Back Carter here? All right. Here we go. Just don't sing it. All right. So are we all settled in already? So this is a story of thirds and, threes. So we're looking at that, a way of growing, but our spring data from NJSLA reflecting on our progress, looking at our growth and what we have planning forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep with what we call a maritime theme or a water theme. We've sort of stepped into the water. So here's the waters that we've tested. Tier 1, Tier 2 strategies. So just for those in the non-educational field, Tier 1 is that, classroom instruction. Tier 2 is when we start to add further supports. And then And then Tier 3 is where we really start to dive into supporting students with programs like after school. So you'll see here in the past 2 years, we've implemented a Connect 4 learning in the preschool. We've implemented instructional coaches. We've added iReady and IXL throughout 3 through 12, supporting our students, an adaptive testing process that's very helpful. We've developed through Robin and her team, the WIN ASI programs, which are supports for students after school. We have dual language programs that are very dynamic and supporting our students, really starting at the younger grades and making their way up to the high school. We've extended our targeted reading supports, and we have some writing benchmark and tier reading interventions. So these focus on the third of students who really maybe struggle the most, and then those who are getting to approaching. Okay, so with that, here's what we're doing. Now that we're tested the waters, now that we're on the ship, we've sort of established it, to keep the analogy going. We're charting a precise course. So we're creating systems to enhance the quality and the consistency of our Tier 1. So this image, thank you, Mrs. Morgan, for providing it for us. This image really gives us the sense of what we need to do to establish the foundation for the data that we're going to look at. So Tier 1 instruction is that classroom instruction that really is going to raise the rigor of where students are going. The Tier 2s and Tier 3 supports we already have in place. So what we're going to do is create Tier 1 instruction across all classrooms to ensure every student receives key, rigorous, standards aligned, and engaging core teaching to meet everybody's needs. So here's what we're looking at. Our district snapshot, our overview. This is where I'd said we look at thirds. So we have about 31% with ELA. We're looking at about 20% of our students who are meeting or exceeding expectations. That group is followed by that approaching, we'll call bubble, and those students are the ones who are waiting to make the next step, right, and grow forward. And we notice we have 25 and 35%. We're to add those numbers together, and we're looking at 56 and pretty much 56 and 55, yeah, %. That puts us at state average for passing and or above state average of passing. So really the Tier 1 instruction is going to help focus on the circled area, those students who are approaching. Why? Because with the other percentages that we're seeing down below, we have the Tier 2 and the Tier 3 pieces. So I know that was a question that we've had in the past. So that's how we support that group. Next. So we're going to break it down by the demographics here. So with our demographic groups, the same pattern that we're seeing in the general district view, you can see again in our groups of with our African American, our Hispanic, our 2 or more races, our white. There is that bubble group of 30%, 26%, 22%, 18% in English who are looking to go from approaching to achieving and performing. So our main goal is to focus on that through our Tier 1 instruction. Same thing when you look at math. Look at the size of that group who are at approaching, looking to get to proficiency. 40%, 33, 35, 35, 32. So what this data is showing us is that with strong tier 1 supports, that the students are waiting to rise. Next piece, by gender. Again, similar ELA and math. Male and female are similar, so we don't have a huge disparity there. Same thing with students receiving special education. Now, with students receiving special education, the key thing that I want to point out is that they're making growth within their own IEP and or 504 landscape. So we're really looking at growing. You can see that their numbers in the not proficient are a little higher, but what we're tracking is their growth towards the proficiency, right? However, we still have a large population of students who are very close to the approaching and getting to be proficient. So again, with stronger tier 1 supports, we see students grow. So with our ML students, this is a moment where, as previously presented from Dr. Heisterman, we saw that we've seen growth in our ML learners. We can see that same growth here. With the current MLs, we know students are managing their language acquisition, right? And they're still working on their academic growth. So we can see that, of course, they have a lower percentage of students who are proficient or advanced proficient. You have to imagine that this could be a student who's been in country for a year and is working on acquiring a language. However, what the chart shows us, what the data shows us, is once those students manage language acquisition and then start to be more comfortable in the English landscape and their native language, their academic growth is exponential. You can see 49 and 4% in the proficient and advanced proficient. That's 53%. That exceeds our gen ed population in other demographics. So students who go through the ML program are showing to be capable in ways that we haven't expected, which is a good thing for us. So you see that again for both English and math. So that's a key element. So again, for us, students who are economically disadvantaged or are managing, that's a place where also we want to grow. But again, we look at the bubble of those kids who are right at the approaching mark, 25, 28, 25, 34, 38, 26. Again, with good tier 1 instruction, we're going to see those kids rise. So again, to quote Kennedy, that rising tide, raises all boats. So I had to work on that one because I was flipping it around, boats and tides. But the tides are rising, and so our students will be rising. Next. So now, with this picture, what it does show, if we're direct with our data, we show that there's a little bit of a roller coaster to our numbers, where our students rise and fall, and that's something that we need to work on through our tier 1 instruction, right? Tier 2 and tier 3 is going to support the students who are struggling. But when we look at our percentages here from the year to year, we notice that we rise and fall. We get that again with our math grades 3 through 6. Yep. And again, what we're looking at here is how do we take the people who are at the 30% and raise them up by doing more tier 1. So what I really would like to look at is, for me, the 3-year trend in ELA and with the math. With the ELA, we can see that there has been moments of growth, and we need to continue focusing on what's working well in those programs to support the students, right? So, and then the big key for me is, how do we do that? Well, if we look at math shows us 23, 24, and 25. So the 23 year, we can see the 7th grade group is at 23%. In 24, it's at 26%. At 25, it's 31%. That's where the program and the teacher are showing growth with different students. And that's what we need to focus on. And that's where we're looking at that tier 1 instruction to show how do we make sure we're replicating that. So I think that's a key element for us. So with that, I'm going to have Robin sort of dive into the particulars of where we're going, where we've been, and how we continue to grow.
Okay, click.
Okay, so we've tested the waters. We've identified that we have strong tier 2 and tier 3 intervention. We've trained, we have those students identified. And we have come to the conclusion that our tier 1 instruction, so that's our general instruction that our classroom teachers are doing, needs to strengthen. So last year we worked a lot on instructing the teachers on understanding their standards, what is expected to be taught at each grade level, how that looks with the students coming up from the grade level before, and where the students need to go the grade level after. So we're gonna, continue to keep our tier 1 and tier 2 in place, but we are going to enhance our tier 1. We are showing the teachers how to analyze data, how to identify the groups. We have intervention periods built into the school day. We are continuing professional development. We have a large group of our math staff in middle school, Algebra 1 and geometry that are getting training all together as a team on hands-on approaches that they can bring into the classroom and different strategies to support the students. We expanded the WIN program, and we have that from kindergarten through 8th grade, and that is specifically targeting those students who are in that bubble, that group that we are really trying to move to the next level. The academic support teachers analyzed the data. They really identified and honed in on who are the kids that we can move. And we, as I said, we're aligning the teachers' expectations to what they are supposed to teach in that grade, increasing the rigor, and really setting the expectation. This is what you need to teach. This is where the students need to be, and instructing in that way. And, just to continue with the theme, growth is our goal. Intentionality is our path. So did you skip that one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, well, this is basically what I just said. A lot of the things that we've done. Okay. So back to what I said, growth is our goal, intention is our path. And then we'll go to this. So we are seeing the growth. So we want to continue the trend of growth, but with intentional plan and target to get there. So some of the things that we are doing in order to be intentional is we have our district and building level collaborative walkthroughs. So that's where district administration, building administration, supervisors are walking through the classrooms together with a targeted focus and providing feedback afterwards to the teachers on the things that we've seen. And, we're going to consistently provide that feedback through our observations. So it's a team approach to support the teachers. And these are the areas that we're looking at: the higher order thinking questions, student discussion, and data-driven instruction. And then our professional development is focused on data deep dives. As you'll see in the agenda, we had a lot of our teachers, especially our academic support teachers, do presentations for the staff on how to analyze data, how they came up with sorting the students and identifying who has, where you can make groups and how you can support the students in the class. And we got a lot of great feedback on that because they're hearing it from their peers, and now they can go to their peers to ask questions and find that information. And that was very successful. We had that at all the levels. And then, we're focusing on academic language and literacy. So right away from preschool on, the teachers using the academic language that the students will know so that they can continue that on through the high school level. And then rigorous and engaging classrooms. So making sure that, when you're teaching the standard, even though some of the standards overlap, that the standard is grade level and age appropriate. And the big one is the student organization, 6 to 12, using with Avid. So we have the binders that we've done for 6 to 12, which overall has been pretty good. It's some growing pains here and there. I know it's a lot harder for the upperclassmen because it's something totally different than they're not used to. But what we're seeing, especially at the middle school, and we're getting this feedback from the teachers and even from the kids, is helping them get organized. And the teachers are saying, like, we can see the students' organizational process in front of them, because they're seeing like kids who shove all the papers in front of the binder, or they're hidden in their backpack. So they can kind of help the student to organize because they're seeing it like in front of them. And then the other nice thing is that the kids aren't on the computer as much. So they're with the focus note taking, with the binders, with the planners, they're doing a lot more writing, highlighting, talking to each other, because the computers are not there. And the phones are not there too, which is a good one. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that's it. That's,
Yeah, I think so for me, that's where what Robin highlighted here just happened today for me. Like I walk into the Smalley room building, I go with the principal to visit a classroom. We have a discussion about academic rigor. Should they be, using more vocabulary? What does that look like? We're talking about the binders. How are they working? How are they helping students? And then we're also, having that discussion about, all right, well, what does it mean to get that student to the next level? What do we need to put into place? So for me, the big piece is the precision of the course that we have now, because for me in the past, we haven't been walking around together as that team. So me going out with a principal, connecting with them, seeing what I'm trying to do, I think it's really going to transform the way teachers are teaching in the classroom. So that leads us to our last slide, which is growth is the goal, intentionality is our path. And I think that's one thing that we're really seeing through the conversations that the directors, principals are having, so that teachers can have actionable things to do in the classroom to, make sure that teaching is more targeted and that students who need the supports are getting the supports that they need. So that's from the NJSLA spring data of what we're doing. Thank you. There you go.
okay, thanks. So
Yay.
now, the NJSLA test for this year is different. So right now the students are doing
A
the
field test.
field test
right.
to kind of test out the new platform, and
We've seen, so
we're
we
gonna see how that goes.
just so you know, most of you have, children still in the district. They have been working 4th grade through 12th grade, taking the assessments. They have done very well with taking it seriously. We have done, I think, a great job with making sure our teachers are getting comfortable with it. And this is really helping us prepare for spring. Really what we've gotten out of it is the TIDE system, which is the new platform rather than Pearson. We understand Cambium better. It's going to help us be prepared in that way. Unfortunately, this is just an NJSLA. It's not an adaptive, so they're not getting the new version. However, what it's doing for us is it's building more of that district vision of, okay, what do we need to do to prepare for this? The test shifts a bit because there's more writing with the essay and there's more reading, and so reading and answering the short answer questions. So it'll help us to prepare students for spring. So it's a lot of work, but we are making sure this curveball that the state has thrown at us is going out of the park.
And also it's, practice on the seriousness of the testing. Having the teachers, model the seriousness, having the students understand, the importance of taking these kind of tests seriously. All the practice that you can do on that is going to benefit in the long run.
That's where we are.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I find it difficult to follow this one. It's just a slide presentation that you don't have any time to see.
Yeah.
If you go back to the one slide that you showed before, you highlight all the math progress.
Yep.
You had a 3-year trend.
Oh, yeah.
This
You
one.
had it. This one.
This one. Yeah. So this for me is, so the way that I want to unpack this for us. So there's many ways that we can look at data. Data is numbers until it's interpreted, right? So for me, what I'm seeing is I can either follow cohorts of students as they move along, or I can look at teachers and their programs and what they're doing. So in this chart, it's not really a cohort model. It's more of a what's going on with the programs and seeing there's growth. So for me, we look at the 7th grade throughout the 3 years, and we can see that there's a steady incline there. You can see that even with the 8th grade as well. For me, that's what I'm looking at. I need to go, all right, what is going on in the 7th grade with that program that's creating the success? How do we take that, package it, and share it out? Yeah.
So 7th grade, everybody is kind of in the same batch.
Yep.
Mhm.
8th grade, there starts to become a divergence.
Yep.
So even if you're trying to track, let's say, that you move up from 2023, you say, oh, that should be my red bar versus 24.
They're different
It's not
folks.
necessarily apples to apples.
Right. Because there's a different group of students.
Yeah,
Because at that
math is
point,
tricky.
right, at that point, 8th grade, they go into algebra, they go into other classes.
Go back.
This one?
The 3 to 6, maybe?
Yep. So, yep.
Yeah, so the red is high in 3 and 5 and low in 4 and 6. So honestly, it's hard to know exactly what the reason is, but the state also has similar, trends like this where it's all over the place because some of it's the testing, some of it could be the group of kids. It's a strange and unique result that we're seeing there. So the 3rd graders that are at that 30% in 2024, in 4th grade, they have 20% that they got. So it's a 10% drop. And then the 4th graders, the 13% that they got in 2024, and they grew to 17% in 2025. So, it's such a roller coaster. It's very inconsistent.
So that's right. So that's where, for me, with how I'm unpacking data and what we're using it for. So for me, the data is data until we turn it into information on how it changes what we're doing. So for me, we see that fluctuation, and with that fluctuation, we need to look at programming. And the programming that we need to look at is that tier 1 instruction. So this is the precise vision that we're really honing in on, is programming needs to be managed so that that fluctuation that we're seeing goes away. If that makes sense.
If
So
we strengthen the
Tier 1.
instruction in the classroom and it's consistent in every section year to year, this should level off.
So I think that's why, for me, the main focus of the whole, bless you, the main piece is really that idea of tier 1 instruction changing in the classroom so that all students can be more comfortable with the academic vocabulary. So when they're moving from grades to grade, we're not seeing them go up or down so
They're
dramatically.
retaining it.
Right.
That's the goal.
And
You
moving
have to
forward.
retain it.
So that's where, for me, when we're looking at this data for you, it's, are we looking at the cohort of the students' growth? Are we looking at the program? Right now, we're really looking at program and saying, all right, with tier 1, if we have students take notes in class, they're going to capture more academic language and they're going to know what's going on. I was seeing a science class today where they're talking about gases, altitude, stratospheres, and those pieces like that. That's something where, for me, with an Avid notebook, note taking, I want the students to capture it. So when they go into 8th grade and they may be talking about something else in physics class related, they can then use that language again. So I think that's what our takeaway from the data is. It's what are the actionable things that we can do with teachers in our programs to support our students. So in what we've done with this data is to say, programs need to be shifted so that there's more rigor. How do we do it? We utilize Avid strategies, binders, more note-taking in the classroom, students capturing ideas in their own language, and then getting the academic language too. So I think that's really where we've been going with the data. Because for me, I always want to say data is just a bunch of numbers until we interpret it, right? Data only becomes information when we apply it somewhere. And that's the way we're applying it. So thank you for the question. Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for the presentation. It was really well done. I want to acknowledge the strong work that the tier intervention, the expansion of that, I acknowledge that, also offers knowledge of our instruction culture and the resources that we have to support, both instruction as well as students. And I'm really glad that you guys are some reflection or form that self-reflection to want to identify things to improve the tier one system. And it clearly shows that no are one of the things that I've noticed about this is that, the key thing that comes up is that when I look at the data that you showed us here, I see that over 60% of students are below expectations of both math and English. And tier one improvement to me tells me that tier one is the best focus. And tier three, the improvements to tier two and tier three alone are not going to be enough to close the gap.
Exactly. Yep.
So raising the question is it intervention the right approach, or is it more of a change in the way we teach for our instruction?
So it's a little bit of both. If we change, adjust, and strengthen our tier one instruction, it should lessen our need for the tier two and tier three interventions. That would be the goal, not to remove a program, but to lower those numbers to where we're really strengthening the students' overall skills so that so many students don't need to be in tier two and tier three. Right now we have such a large number, but we shouldn't have that.
And then the other thing that I've noticed is that with the more learners,
Mhm.
if I break it down like one learner, the current trajectory that the data is showing is it's not really, like you said, where one based on math and language, which trajectory should improve.
It is.
By looking at these numbers, it looks like the trajectory is not, but
No, it is. So from here, they're going through the whoopsie.
Oh, yeah, go look at the bottom.
Oopsie, sorry. Yeah, so ultimately what you look at here is we have 15% who are in that bubble there, and then you go down to the former MLs, they're at 53% of them are meeting or exceeding. That's more than our Gen Ed population is meeting and exceeding. So once they get out of that program, they've received, so what and through discussion with the team here is what we're noticing is with the multilingual learners over the past few years, they've been getting a lot of SIOP training. SIOP training is tier one training for what to do in the classroom. The teachers have.
Train all of the teachers.
So I think that's part of what we're seeing here is teachers being trained through the dual language program in SIOP, in tier one, your strategies, how to modify something, how to make sure that you're grading something so that a student is showing progress. Those strategies teachers are applying, and it's changing the way that students are performing. I think so. That's a key thing. That's what we're trying to do in the Gen Ed and special ed classroom. Yep.
what is your goal? What is your academic goal to improve those numbers? Like, what are you aiming for? Like, how much of a reduction are you looking to see the next time you do it? Let's over that structure. You did before the talk is very supportive of that for a number of years now, and raising that point where anytime you do something, you always be very supportive for that. I think we could look into that for years now. And it's, I don't know, I can't speak for the rest of the board, but what are the goals? We have, I read that I have the data that's been provided to the teachers. I mean, how do we know that the data is used accurately? How will we ensure that they're especially that more instruction? How are we, there's just so many different questions.
So our team, we've been in our roles for 2 years. This is the beginning of our third year. So the first year when we stepped into these roles, we kind of had to take a year to investigate and determine where we saw weaknesses and what we can do to strengthen that. So than we targeted last year on increasing the teachers' understanding of what they need to teach, what are the resources we need to put in place, and how do we show the teachers how to use those resources. So we did a lot of that last year. And then this year, we're continuing on that, but now is the time where they can take action on the things that we've trained them on last year and use that in the classroom to move the needle.
One of the things in education, especially is children are not widgets. And I'm glad to see the data that I'm seeing. It's all before the test, we are in where Boundbrook is, where we have been, where we are, where we're going. Just the moment and all themselves, the increase is tremendous. And, with this particular team, we have to be present with this particular team. I think they've done an incredible job where they have raised expectations for students. And not only that, I think that it's great to raise expectations for giving the teachers the tools in order to develop a strong base. Once that strong foundation is there, we're going to start seeing some of these numbers start to implement, where you're going to start seeing. But it's not like when you look at the business graph and you say, oh, well, this quarter we were here, this quarter we were this. There's so many different dynamics with this data. So what I'm seeing, this is my particular take on it, I'm seeing growth, but I'm using educational background. It's a situation where we're giving people, I'm going to take it off the board, the purpose, giving people the tools, giving people the ability to say, now I have this, now we can go forward. So I understand where you're coming from, but when you look at things through an academic lens, I
a couple of things that I've seen here is one program is also the multilingual learner. And younger teachers were like, I want to do that, I want to do that. That was just a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, I've said over and over again, that when you get in the program and you get the tools that you need to really see the change, it was only 12 years, it was really kind of consistent. What has happened in the last couple of years, and I'm speaking educationally, I didn't understand this, but it's those slow and steady steps, and we have to be patient to see what it is. And it really is looking at, I'm so impressed with the learners, where they have from. And I often say, throw me in France and say, learn at the 12th grade level. I do it. Just throw me in the what has happened is just, we know that we have to, we know that. But we're getting the tools and looking at the standards, the teachers really break down the standards and say, this is what they need to learn. I like to do those, third, fourth, fifth together. So the third, they know what they have to do at third, and then fourth, they go, hey, this is where you're missing. Coming in.
Yep.
So you have that kind of dialogue. That's where data is able to.
And we're doing those meetings with their supervisors, they're having the department meetings and they're having their whole team together to kind of talk about like, what are you seeing and, in this grade and how can we move it to the next grade? One of the things too that we didn't put on here, but that's very important is that we provided more opportunities for students to have other courses, not only in the in high school, but also all the way down to the elementary, so that students start believing in themselves, that they actually are capable of doing more than they think they are. Because that was something too we had to work on, building up the students' self-esteem and the awareness that, you can take a risk, you can try harder classes. So we've increased the AP classes, other honors classes, and then we have universal screeners now for G&T for K-6. Or opportunities for K-6. So we're including students who are in special education, students who are multilingual learners. They weren't included in the mix before. It was just teacher nomination. And then in the middle school, making sure we have the honors classes. So not only the teachers, but opportunity for the students and strengthening their belief in themselves too.
I think, to rephrase maybe what Dan is asking, we see numbers, we see percentages up there, and we see, let's say, approximately 33% of our kids are in.
Meeting or exceeding.
No,
The
Yeah,
muddle,
bubble,
approaching,
yeah,
approaching. Yep.
Mhm.
Right? Realistically, well, let's talk state average. What's the state average of kids that are at meeting and exceeding? Right? Is that our goal to get to state average? And
Sure.
so, realistically, how many years do you think that takes to get there? I mean, you see the way that the data is trending, and you have a little bit more data than we have. You know, we kind of the broad overview. So, how many years do you think? Let's just say state average. How many years do you think it takes us to get there? What's your goal?
Well,
If you have a quantitative goal.
Well, the typical model is 3 to 5 years because it does take some time to identify the issue. But, not saying that in 5 years is where we wait until the goal, but within the 3 to 5 year range. So we're in we would say we're in the three
Three.
now, is where you're going to start seeing the needle move. That is the goal. That starting at this 3 years, and then hopefully within 3, 4, 5, we should see a significant improvement.
Right.
Mhm.
So I think credit to you is really team as well. They're developing more confidence in the process. And they really go ahead and say, we need to be so it's not like it's only knowledge is something that they will discuss, but it may or may not be work really functions better depending on where they go.
Yeah, I think the key for me was also that this is one measure too. So this is a snapshot. The NJSLA, NJGPA data is really only capturing one 3-hour moment or 6-hour moment of the students' lives. And some of the other measurements that we do see is our percentage of students who are going to 4-year universities, right? Moving from 22 to 44% there. The graduation
yeah,
cohort
things
is
like
now at 90.4. I was
That's
hoping.
that belief. though, that
So,
belief
and I
of
think
dropping out and
for
staying.
me, that is part of where we are. And I do hear where, like, where you're coming from is that idea of, yes, that number is not where we need it to be or where we want it to be or where any of us accepts it at. And that's what we're doing to change it. I believe that it is a 3-year process, maybe from here, where now that we've identified the tier 1, that work is going to be the most substantial because they are changing what the teachers are doing in the classrooms, and then therefore the students are doing something different. That's the bottom line right now. Our students need to be taking notes. Our students need to be handwriting while typing. Our students need to be managing AI, ChatGPT, while figuring out something without a calculator. So I think that is what all the tier 1 stuff is going to do. It will take probably, in my mind, if we were to look at a measure, we have a 3-year growth process where that instructional transformation can happen. Plus, we can then target specific students, right? Because we could just target specific students and watch our numbers grow. That's not, where we want to be. So we are going to target students and make them grow. But it's also, we're looking at every student and we're making everybody grow, why tier 1 being there for every student. So you will, I think, see, again, last year I threw out like a 3% number. Can we do that? Can we have a steady rise of 3 to 5%? That's a norm. Right? From my 28 years in this, business, from being in other districts, it's always a 3 to 5% number of we're going to get that growth.
It's going to be hard to do.
So-
We don't know what the test is going to look like, to be honest.
Right.
So we're going to have to start this,
New.
in the spring. It's like ground zero again
Right.
with the NJSLA.
So it's a new
We'll look at our
baseline.
In-house data, but this data is going to
Be gone.
It's going to look different because we can't. It's not an apples to apples comparison in
Right.
spring because it's going to be a totally different test.
So it's a new baseline.
So unfortunately, right when we're like at this time is when we get a new test.
So I have one question. First of all, I want to thank Sue for
Questions are always a good thing.
We actually got there's one group that we rarely talk about much, and that's students with disabilities. I mean, it's a wide spectrum of students, but, you know, what is the plan, or what do you have in mind for bringing those students that have those IEPs for the students based on instruction? Right now, there are many students that
Yeah.
waiting on them.
And, you know, part of that is programming and sometimes opportunity, you know, so we're trying to break that barrier down and making sure they have the correct programming and opportunities to get into courses that they might not have been in before. Another thing that the special education department is doing is working really closely on training their child study team members on making sure that the IEPs are written correctly to support the student and make sure that they have the correct, you know, supports put into the IEP. And then they're also working on training the teachers on just understanding the students that are in front of them and how they can adjust their instruction to meet those individual needs. You know, that was an area that really wasn't focused on in the past. And you know, they're really focusing on that now. And we have a supervisor in there and a director. So they're, you know, they're able to split their time and really cover everybody and support them really well. And in addition to that, the supervisors and directors, we're working as a team together. So if one group sees something, you know, we're sharing it with each other. So it's more of a partner approach. So that way nobody is in an isolation like that. It's more of a team effort. So that's how we're tackling that.
To add more things for us to consider conversation. There's a lot of good stuff going on, Tier 1, a lot of really good PD going on, a lot of really important use of data, but I think we should all take a moment and also remember that whatever the problems are that are in society, they walk into a teacher's door. If you think about your own life, if you've ever tried to go to work when you forgot to have breakfast, or if you've ever gone to work and you have a fight with your spouse, and it's really hard to focus on. And we ask a lot of our teachers, our administrators, our support staff. There's also a responsibility among kids to achieve, and there's a responsibility among families. And I'm wondering if we can think about, are there opportunities in the upcoming budget, opportunities in the community, where we can work to better support families and how to partner with us in this work.
Yes.
So one idea that comes to mind for me, I have a colleague in a nearby project, but they've started a reading intervention program in laundromats, knowing that a lot of families go to the laundromat for a couple hours every Saturday. What are you going to do while you watch the clothes tumble around? Let's sit down and read some books. So are there opportunities in town that we can pursue that will support our families, whether they need food, they know how to help their children homework? So the entirety of the burden is not on the schools. Just a thought for us to consider.
Yeah, that's important. And, you know, we do have like a missing piece in the community that we've had for a couple of years, which is the library, because we did a lot of partnering with them. We had a lot of family events there, you know, that we ran with partnership with them, and we haven't had them for a couple of years. So that has definitely been a hole that has been a challenge to fill, I think. But yeah, we always can look for other options. It's a great idea. Okay, that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Here we go.
That's all right.
No, it was worth it. It was worthwhile.
Sometimes.
Seriously.
Yeah, we should do him first. I was gonna say we get him
Do all
out.
the committees and then go?
Nah, let's just do Harrison.
All right, next item up is the report from our student board member. Harrison, take it away.
So this month has been a pretty busy month. So for our sports news, starting with Bamberg football, they've had a pretty successful season this year, going 5-4, and they've even made it to playoffs. And they'll be going against Burlington City this Friday on October 31st. Last Friday, October 24th, our football team and cheer team also celebrated their seniors at their annual senior night at the homecoming football game. As for boys soccer, they've had a tremendous season so far, going 11-8. And Coach Abs was honored with a plaque for his 100th win at the pep rally this past Friday. So congratulations to him. And on October 16th, the boys seniors were honored at their senior night. For girls soccer, they've also had a pretty successful season, and they've gone 8-9. They celebrated their senior night on October 14th. Girls tennis has also finished their season. Their last match was yesterday, October 28th, and they went 8-14 this season. They celebrated their seniors on October 24th. They went against North Plainfield and they won 4-1. As for our cross country team, they've been doing pretty good this year. Lots of new runners, and they have their sectionals meet this Saturday, November 1st at Thompson Park. They've also been very inclusive with our STARS program this year, with many STARS program students constantly showing up at practice. It's a great step towards our school's inclusion and diversity. Also, for our last thing for sports is our varsity students were honored this past Friday at the pep rally for their hard work and this season. So yeah. For other news, the Bamberg robotics team jointly hosted an event on the 27th and 28th of September at the Bridgewater Commons Mall with 5 other local FIRST robotics competition high school teams. The robotics event brought lots of innovation and joy. A highlight of the day was the Robot Rumble competition, which was right in the middle of the mall. On September 30th, National Spanish Honor Society did a Heritage Day in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. So the whole school came to the gymnasium and we celebrated the different Hispanic heritages at our school. On Friday, October 24th, there are many homecoming festivities, such as the Fall Pep Rally, which was a huge success among the students. Many students had lots of fun, and it was an amazing opportunity to bring our school spirit up. October 25th was homecoming. It was a success with over 200 people attending and lots of memories and dancing. Today, our school took the PSAT and SAT. So underclassmen took the PSAT while select juniors and every senior took the SAT. The newspaper club in the high school has published the first Bamberg Crusader newspaper for the 2025 to 2026 school year, with many publications from our students. And finally, tomorrow is the first blood drive of the year. The blood drive committee hopes to get over 80 donations. And that's all.
Excellent. Thank you for the great report. I'm just going to add one extra shout out because I see Dr. Santaserma still sitting here for our CMS boys soccer team who will be playing for their 3rd consecutive conference championship early next week. But excellent report. Proud of all of the accomplishments of our students and athletes. Yeah. There you go. Congratulations. Credit where it's due. Nice job. Any questions for Harrison? Please.
So with the blood drive, can you just walk into that?
Yeah, they just walk.
They do just walk in. And that's,
If there's cookies, you'll be there right now. All right. Thank you very much. So we have a little bit of an adjustment tonight. Normally we would go right into committee meetings, but we have a few things that we need to talk about in executive session first that will be voted on later in this meeting. So we are going to skip ahead. and go to item 13. Be it resolved that the Bound Board of Education enter executive session as allowed by NJSA 10:4-11 for the purposes outlined in the agenda under items 1, 3, 7, and 8. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bowell. Second? Thank you, Mr. Zupko. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned to executive. All right, since we are all back now, we will resume the regular meeting. We are up to committee reports. Feel free to be brief. We will start with Education Committee, Mr. Dawson.
We discussed the same report that Will and Robin gave us earlier. So we examined that in more depth and continued that discussion tonight. And that was the education report.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Any questions? Hearing none. Governance, Mr. Bao.
Okay, we talked about a few different things this month. First, we talked about the Option 2 program that we are implementing more recently for our athletes. We have about 90 students in the program. One issue that we're still facing and needs to be resolved by administration is specifically what happens when a season ends. Does the athlete continue to use the Option 2, or do they then have to go back into a phys ed class? And so that's being discussed at this time. I don't, as of our meeting, nothing had been decided on that. I don't know if that has been, okay. The other question that was brought up was students who are taking online classes. If you don't know, some of our AP courses are taught online. And we had a little bit of an issue getting our students enrolled in time this year. So before we even brought it up, administration has already fixed that issue. It will be by us voted and approved in August next year so that they are able to start the classes on time next school year. Everybody's enrolled now at this point. They just got a little bit of a late start. We did have to approve, and it's on the agenda tonight, a policy 2365. It has to do with AI. If you read policy 5701, I stumbled upon this completely by accident in a meeting at my school. We were talking about AI, and they put 5701 on the screen for us to read. And in it, it references policy 2365. So I went, of course, they said, all the districts have this policy. So I went to Bound Brook, and we do certainly have policy 5701 in our policies. What we don't have as of today is policy 2365, which is referenced within. So we are going to be approving that policy. It's being read tonight for the first time. We caught it, so that'll be fixed. And our question going into the meeting, which was addressed, I think, the day before the meeting, coincidentally, we had asked we were going to ask how the district goals were going. And Ms. Winter emailed all that. If you didn't check your email, it's so much. Not such a good job. Not only is it the goals themselves, but there's a very extensive roadmap to success that was emailed with that as well. And then we also got hard copies of that at the meeting. We were able to go through it. So really good job by Ms. Winter on that, on getting those goals out to us. And that was governance.
Excellent work. Any questions for Mr. Bao? Hearing none, we are up to Ms. High on Human Resources.
Okay, with the HR committee, the first thing that we always do is we go over the status of hiring in the district. And there are a few positions that they're interviewing for, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to fill those ASAP. We also went over CUSAC. You know, the district is up for a CUSAC visit this coming March. And we met and discussed, there was a self-assessment. There are 5 areas in CUSAC, and the personnel with the committee, what we went over is how teachers are evaluated, the mentoring program, the hiring process, criminal checks, et cetera, certification. And each of these categories then have indicators. So that was all explained to us within that committee meeting of, you know, where we are. And there was just one area from last year that we know that we need to work on. And it's just because one thing was submitted one day late. So now we know that we just have to keep on track with that. The other thing that came up is and this is something new this year, it's called the 1-month check-in. And this is just reaching out to new employees to see how they are adjusting to the district and to their position. Do they need any assistance with anything, and who they might go to if they have any questions.
And the final thing that we discussed were job descriptions, and that was just upgrading, revising to our district's current needs, in particular to the business office and the business administrator. We also talked about building and grounds and looking to fill an assistance to the facility manager. And that really is it. Questions?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. I. Any questions? Hearing none, Mr. Zupko, operations.
Okay. It's going to be brief, probably the briefest one I've given, so strap in. All right, we had an update on the preschool modular project. There's an NJDEP review. The site drawings and permit applications remain under review by the department. Their deadline of November 21st is still in place, and since the last update, the department has not issued any follow-up questions. The Department of Education has approved the schematic submission and is now reviewing the drawings for the final education adequacy following the standard process. Modular building, the fabrication of the modular building is proceeding as scheduled at the out-of-state facility. And the site coordination is currently coordinating with the borough on various site-related items, including utility and connection planning. Also talked about unearned vacation and sick days. There's been recent reviews revealed instances where employees leaving the district had used unearned vacation and retiring employees had claimed unearned sick days. Currently, compensated absence form addresses some aspects of this, but no formal policy exists for non-affiliated staff. And to ensure clarity and consistency, it is recommended that we would formalize an approach to compensated absences. The auditor's report will be presented on the 19th of November, and there's a revised job description for the business office included in tonight's meeting, I believe. And that's it. Questions?
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. Any questions? All right. Sue, SCESC notes? Okay. You're up.
Okay, with that, at our last meeting, what we did was we reviewed what the district goals were. The first one was enrollment increasing by 25%. However, they feel that they will probably increase by 35%. There were also new classrooms to, handle the number of students that they're getting, and also to modify the career center. Another goal is marketing, just to get the word out to the districts of the opportunities that ESC provides. The buildings and grounds, they want to add security cameras throughout the campus. The network infrastructure, they want to build up sunshades so that, there isn't glare in the classroom, and to hire more building and grounds workers. Another one of the goals was the special ed transportation. They'd like to increase that revenue by 5%. They presently have 600 routes and 90 vendors that they all coordinate together. It's a huge job. They are also looking to hire 1 or 2 more office assistants. They have a timeline for reviewing the district goals. The first one is February, and the next is August. And then it will just go into that same cycle. The superintendent's report, they actually did, like we do here, they did a HIB presentation on how the HIBs are handled and all the legalities of it. The superintendent said this was the smoothest opening that they've had in 4 to 5 years. He attributes that to having a principal and vice principal on each floor, so they are readily available to the teachers and the counselors and the students. The renovations taking place. The multi-purpose room is now 4 new classrooms. The administrative suite was changed from 3 to 7 offices to handle the guidance counselors and child study team members. And all of their projects have been on time and on budget. And that is it.
That was a great report. Any questions for Sue? All right. Last but not least, we are up to our Southbound Brook report.
The roof repairs are now finished and are awaiting imaging for the non-slip surfaces for EMS use and for the imaging company that keeps the records. The trunk or treat was held and had approximately 24 cars and went rather well. And that's about the size of it. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera. Any questions? Hearing none, we are done with our committee reports. So at this point, we're up to item 5.1, open to the public for agenda items only. In accordance with District Policy 0167, public participation in board meetings, members of the public are required to sign in either at the podium, providing their name, address, and group affiliation if applicable. When addressing the board, please state your name and address and limit comments to agenda items only directed to the presiding officer. Each participant is allowed 3 to 5 minutes to speak. No individual may address the same topic more than once until all others wishing to speak have had the opportunity to do so. I don't see anyone in attendance to offer public comment, so we will move on to item 6.1. Be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, approves the minutes for the following meetings: regular and executive meeting minutes, September 24th, 2025. May I have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Dawson. A second? Thank you, Ms. Musson. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Lee, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you. Item 7.1, be it resolved that the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in district personnel resolutions. This is item 7.2 through 7.56. I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. A second. Thank you, Ms. High. Any discussion? Please, go.
In the grand scope of things, it's not really that important, but clarification, why are we now going by employee number for people that want to leave?
So we had a request last year from one of our staff members who said that she would rather her information not be shared on the board minutes. And recently we sent our HR to professional development with Strauss Esme, those who give us the recommendations for the policy. And they said that we should move to using ID number instead for privacy reasons. So that's why we did it.
So then we're approving someone to take a leave of absence and basically nobody knows who that is. I mean, I don't know who that is.
Okay.
I mean, so I just have to go on the basis of.
So this is what I'll do. I'll get Strauss Esme to write us a statement and I'll share that with you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Other questions? All right. Ms. Lee, a roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Item 8.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in district education resolutions. These are items 8.2 through 8.27. May I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Any discussion?
I have one thing. I just wanted to say, I love seeing the field trips, et cetera. I want to be a chaperone on that one that goes to the Liberty Science Center. They're going to be watching a heart surgery there. I think that's incredible. I was also very happy to see the VOTEC coming to the community middle school to talk to the students. That just is a whole nother avenue. I just was very happy to see it.
Great points, Mrs. High. Any other comments or questions? All right, hearing none. Ms. Lee, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes.
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 Thank you. Item 9.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in board action resolutions. These are items 9.2 through 9.47. I have a motion. Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. Any discussion?
One thing,
Go for it, Sue.
and what I wanted to say, I'm so very happy to see grant applications here, because this is, you have the opportunity to bring something else into the district, but only if you apply. So I was very happy to see those applications, and, we've been successful with grants. So it just was nice to see. Thank you for doing that.
Just wanted to add, we'd like to thank the Women's Literacy Club for the incredible winter donations, the winter coats. This winter is going to be cold, so definitely appreciate it for all of our students. Thank you.
Well said, guys. Any other comments or questions?
I have one question about the policies that we're revising.
Can you know which item you're talking about, Danny?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
9.2, I guess, or 9.3. So regarding the policies that are being revised, sorry, do we know what exactly has been added or modified or changed from the original, or what the revision is exactly? Like, what exactly are we approving?
For 9.3?
Yes.
So this is something we actually went over last year with allowing seniors.
Right.
So that was the piece. We didn't have that piece.
Oh, we didn't have that
No,
piece
we
at
didn't
all.
have-
So
we didn't
everything
have
in there is brand new.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so the one piece we added was that if you were a senior and you had certain grades, met certain criteria, you were able to stay for your senior year. So that's what was added. It was something we
Okay.
talked about last year. Unfortunately, because it wasn't a Strauss Esme packet,
Mhm.
it was separate. It didn't get entered until this year.
Got you. I thought it was, I misunderstood earlier because I thought it was, we already had something and we just may have like added a paragraph or made a revision or something like that. So, okay, cool. Thank you.
And then Danny, 9.2, 2365 is the policy I mentioned in my governance report.
Yes.
We don't currently have that policy at all, so that's brand new as well.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes. Other comments or questions? That was good. Thanks, guys. All right, Ms. Lee, a roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Thank you. We are up to item number 10. I have received no other matters to come before the board. So we will move to item 11, which is any new business from the members.
Just wanted to congratulate our board in relation to a very successful attendance at the New Jersey School Board Association Conference. Having incredible workshops, just learning from other boards, and really reflecting on how fortunate Bound Brook is, how we are fortunate to have such an incredible administrative team and fellow board members. So many boards that I have met had deep divisions and criticisms of each other and their administrative team, and we're kind of a gem because we really, the respect that we give for each other, the administrative team, the shining examples of success that we have on every level. It was my first time going, definitely would do it again, but it's just to realize for a small little borough, the successes that we continue to rack up. I don't think we realize that on a day-to-day basis, and I just want to congratulate everyone. I want to congratulate our staff. I want to congratulate the citizens of the town because you've put your trust in us, and we so appreciate it. So the conference was incredible and definitely well worth it.
Well said, Roger. Thank you. Any other new business comments? All right. We are up to item 12.1, open to the public for general discussion. I will spare everybody the reading of the statement, just acknowledging that there is no one in the room to make a comment. And we will move past executive session, which we already did, to item 14.1. Be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in approval of HIB cases under high school. This is only item 14.2. May I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera. A second? Thank you, Ms. High. A roll call when you are ready, Ms. Lee.
Yes.
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 Thank you. Item 15.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in approval of HIB cases under middle and elementary schools. This is just item 15.2. I have a motion.
Motion.
I'm going to give it to Mr. Bao. Second? There you go, Mr. Minhas. Ms. Lee, when you're ready, the roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Very good. We are up to item 16.1, resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education adjourns. A motion?
Motion.
I'm going to give it to Mr. Ball again. A second? Thank you, Mr. Dawson. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.